Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the Daycare Podcast. It is your boy, Mr. Nipples, and we got Nick on the line, and we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself? No, that's you. You're the special one. Oh yeah, yeah. We love you too, baby. I wouldn't recommend the roller coaster. Close enough. I feel like they're just spitefully buying shit at this point. He's gonna it's gonna be his carry on. This is carry on, man. What's up? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Get a shipment of really shitty recruits or something. Or for the Guitars for Stars? I do not. There's the clamshell method. Probably like 5, I think. 5 or 6. Yeah, I believe so. we'd have to switch to Facebook chat, or I'd have to call him on Skype. Alrighty, sounds good. Howdy.
and she slams the door, and she's like armchair quarterbacking my driving the whole fucking way. And the hospital was like maybe a 8-minute drive from her place. We get there, and she's just riding my ass about the fucking driving. And I'm like, oh my God, it's only fucking 1 a.m. Fuck. So we get into the hospital, and we have to fucking wait, of course, forever. I'm like, there's nobody here at all except us. So I grab a wheelchair, and she's in my lap, and we're riding around in the wheelchair. And then finally the doctor comes out and fucking gives me that, I'm a fucktard look and scolds me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So she goes back, and the doctor comes out, and the doctor starts asking me some questions. And I'm like, look, I get the drill, doc. We need to fucking have her stomach fucking pumped to find out what the fuck is in there, because she could have been fucking roofied or what the fuck ever. We need to find out. She's like, oh, I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm like, then you should, because you have a fucking young woman who passed the fuck out after consuming alcohol in a fucking bar, and I brought her in. So I'm suspect number 1. So get the police involved so we can go back to the bar and get the fucking video footage, do a fucking talk screen to clear my fucking name so I can find who the fuck did it and curb stomp his ass in a city of 18 fucking million. Like, that's going to happen. So the doctor says she wants to see you. So we go back there, and she's got her own room, and she's calmed the fuck down, and she's like, look, I had like the better part of a half a bottle of wine before you got to my place on an empty stomach. I'm like, and she's like, and I'm slightly bulimic. I'm like, information that would have been good to fucking know before I started fucking force feeding you old fashions. So she's like, I have a confession to make. I'm like, oh, go on, why not? And she's like, I've always wanted to, see how far I can go in an emergency room. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking do this. So we're fucking totally making out. My hand is all the way up the fucking the gown, and I am fucking seeing if I can tickle her fucking tonsils from the bottom. And the fucking doctor comes in. Like, my hand is under the sheet, but clearly she's got her knees raised, and clearly she's having a good time because her face is all flush and shit. The doctor comes in, and she grabs my head, not the doctor, and buries it in her chest. And I'm like, all muffled. I'm like, surely, doctor, this is not the weirdest fucking thing you've seen tonight. So the doctor throws me a towel, and she's like, I need to talk to you in the hallway. I'm like, come on. So I go out in the hallway, I get scolded, and I go back inside, and the doc's like, look, we need to make sure that your blood pressure is regular. So about another hour, then we'll let you go. And I'm like, okay. So the hour goes by uneventfully. I mean, like awkward, idle chit chat. Like my hand was just inside you, but sure, let's talk about the weather. So finally we leave, and she's like, I'm driving. And I was like, sure, why not? And one of the things that we first agreed on in life, like before we even started going out, was that we both loved Jack in the Box tacos, even though Jack in the Box has no legal right whatsoever to make tacos.
That's true.
So we pull into to Jack in the Box, and we got like 10 tacos, and we're just shoving tacos in our face. And she's like, I'll take you back to your hotel now. And I was like, okay, sure. And I'm like all defeated and everything. And I may or may not have been fucking sniffing my fingers. I don't know, whatever. And so we go back to the hotel, and she parks the car, but not out front in a parking space. And like, it's been a rough night. It's like fucking 3 a.m. now. And she's like, you said you had champagne? And I was like, yes, I do. So she's like, fine. So we go in, and we get in the elevator. And I don't know sports. I'm not a sports fan at all. But these dudes, it's like I said, 3:15 in the morning. And these dudes are fucking like 6'5", 6'7", 6. They're big fucking guys. And she's a sports fan, so she recognizes the guys. And she's like talking to them about sports, and the guy's like, hey, how you doing, man? And I'm like, oh, I'm not so bad. How are you, mate? And he's like, looking at me like, oh, weird, because I'm like African American. He's like, what the fuck? And I was like, Sam, you boys play American football, eh? That's not that tough of a sport. You wear fucking bloody helmets and shit. Fuck that. Fuck off. And they're like, what the fuck? So we walk down the hallway, and they're like looking at us, and they go into the rooms on either side of us. So we go into the room. She pops up with the champagne. Doesn't offer me any, and she just commences to drinking most of it. And I'm like, okay, she's obviously insane. And I was like thinking, all right, 2 pump chump, done, out, fucking pass out, fuck it, whatever. She starts taking off her clothes. She comes across the fucking room, like breaks my fucking pants apart and just starts going to town on my junk. And I'm like, fuck it, all in. all it takes is all you got, Marine. So I just all in. And, like, she's loud and aggressive. Like, I had bruises and abrasions. She's, like, grabbing the headboard, riding me, and she's banging the headboard into the wall. And the guy on the other side, the Oakland Raider, starts fucking pounding on the wall. And she's like, fuck you, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. So then we go to the desk on the other side, banging on that wall. That guy's banging on the wall. And she says, fuck you, shut the fuck up. So then there's a pounding on the door. And she rips open the door completely naked. There's two massive fucking Oakland Raider dudes standing at the door. She's totally fucking butt naked. And the guys are like, sorry, our bad. And they walked the fuck away. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to get murdered right now. Holy shit. Not them, her. She's going to fuck a mud hole in my ass. So, like, we destroyed the room. Drapes were fucking torn down. The phone on the desk was broken. The headboard was fucking cracked. The little cheap fucking mirror painting above the bed was broken. I don't know how that happened. A ceiling fan blade was cracked. I'm like, what the So we woke up. We took maybe like an hour and a half nap, and we woke up, and I'm looking at the room, and it was like a scene out of fucking Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I was like, did we kill anybody last night? Fuck. So we went downstairs. We had breakfast, and she's like, what did she say? You fucked me stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not having a hard time figuring. Like, I was like, the waitress was like, what can I get for breakfast? And I was like, I was pointing at bacon and eggs. I was all numb. I mean, it was just, fucked out is the word that the kids use. I was fucked out. Like, I would have been good not having sex for a year. So I walked her to her car, and she's like, that was fun. And I was like, do you remember anything from last night? She's like, dinner, vampires, weird dude rubbing my feet, your hand up inside me in the ER, and two big black dudes at the door, and I was naked. And I was like, that about wraps it up? Yeah. So I gave her a kiss in her car, and she fucking bit my lip again. And I'm like, stop pummeling me! And she drove away, and I was standing there, and I went for a walk to look at the ocean, and I was like, did that just fucking happen? Was that not the most fucking insane first date ever? So then I immediately went back to my room before I checked out and took a bunch of notes, because I'm like, I'm writing that shit down. That's going in a book one day, because that shit is weird. So flash forward, we dated for almost 2 years, and toward the very end, we went back to that restaurant, that club in San Francisco, and it was the upstairs was completely the same, except now from the upstairs you could just go right downstairs to the bathroom. We go downstairs, and everything is totally different. Like, did we imagine that shit? Like, there was fucking vampires blowing or drinking somebody down here, and the bathroom was like completely different. And I'm like, I know that we saw what we saw downstairs that night. I know we did, because it freaked me the fuck out, and I don't hallucinate. And we go to ask the guy upstairs, and he's like, no, the bathroom's always been that way. I'm like, was there some kind of weird fucking kink.com vampire dungeon fucking party that night? What the fuck, man? And they assured us that nope, that's the way it's always fucking been. And I'm like, I don't believe you, but if you vampires are going to give us a fucking pass to walk back out in the daylight, fuck yeah. All right, I'm out.
So what happened to her that night?
So it was a mixture of not eating at all and having a half a bottle of wine beforehand, and then more drinks at dinner, and then more alcohol at the bar. But she's also slightly bulimic, so she just fucking crashed. Oh, and she was like really nervous about the date, which was fucking weird, because I'm like, I've seen you like at work when we were like playing tag football. I was like, I've seen you deck guys twice your size, and yet you were nervous about going on a date? All right, I mean, okay. And that's, she said that was it.
Well, all right. That is some crazy shit, though. That is some...
Oh, and the Uber dude, I ended up spending like $400 on that because of, having to clean his car, and I broke his taillight. Still, money well fucking spent. I told that dude, like, if you don't shut the fuck up with that filthy piglet, I'm going to punch you in the back of the fucking head. And I'm like, that's probably a hate crime in San Francisco, even suggesting that I was going to hurt him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And insulting his culture, or whatever shithole he came from.
So once again, since you came on, I gotta say, there's an amazing Facebook group called Corn Titties.
Called what?
Corn Titties.
Ah!
QUARANTITTIES.
Titties! I like titties. Oh, and she had a glorious, glorious rack. All original factory parts, no augmentation.
Good shit.
And at one point I thought that she was going to like smother me to death with them because she grabbed my head and she buried my head in her chest. And I was like, there's worse ways to fucking die.
Right?
I would have died happy. Slightly bruised and like, again, abrasions, but I'd have died happy. Like at one point while we were having sex, I thought, are we fighting right now? Because I wasn't sure.
That is the good stuff, though. That's the good stuff.
She elbowed me in the top of the head, like, so hard. I was like, dude, bite your fucking lip. Don't fucking pass out. She'll kill you.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's it's been a while.
It's been a while. I thought that you had to go to Thailand and pay for some shit like that.
Oh, no. When I got my last major breakup before I met my wife on blackpeoplemeet.com. By the way, we're both white as snow. But, so before I met my wife on there, I was on POF and like all those other pages. And dude, I'm telling you, I literally had a revolving door. I had like ladies coming over, they'd leave, and before I had a chance to finish washing my dick, I mean, it was bad. It was just.
That's Presidential Medal of fucking right there, right, dude. That's a medal.
It was bad. It was.
Oh. You know, I've had several friends because, like, I'm the writer and the one that's got common sense in a crisis. And I had one friend call me. He's an ODA. He's a group guy. He called, and chick he was with, apparently he thought she overdosed. And I'm like, I have nothing in my tool bag to address that fucking issue, dude. There's no one that I can call. I mean, the guys that are in Ukraine that I might call, but that you're fucked, dude. Yeah. Turns out that she didn't overdose. She just passed a lot the fuck out, and he basically got his shit and left. I'm like, well, that was stupid. I mean, your fingerprints are your junk was inside her. Whatever. So, like, and this is a military dude with a military chick, right? And shame on him. He was an officer. She was not an officer. But he sees her at fucking PT formation on Monday, and she's like, "You're a lot of fun, sir. We should hang out again." He's like, "Bitch, I thought I fucking killed you."
Speaking of officer and EM, I just came clean with something before we called you up. There was a captain over in the engineers, being artillery. They were right across from us, and there's a quad thing. I'll show you pictures sometime. And he was married to a second lieutenant over the MPs. I had no idea they were married. I didn't even know she was an officer. It was after we hooked up for a few days that I saw her in uniform.
It's nice to meet you, ma'am, for the first time ever.
It was worth it, though.
Always is.
But so that was an awesome story. That was
And I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad it happened because it honestly, the 22 months, it was the best sex I've ever had. But when it was all said and done, on the first date, she told me that she was bisexual, and she left me for a woman. And I'm like, the stoic in me, I'm not even mad. I mean, you kind of it was fucking foreshadowing, right?
Great White Buffalo.
Right, so I'm like, well, whatever. And she and I are still friends. We're still friends. But God, every time that I talk to her, it moves a little bit.
She was the Great White Buffalo.
Exactly. But shit happens.
Yep. Sure does. She needs to come on the show.
Oh my God. Be afraid. Be afraid.
Get her on the show. Seriously.
I mean, I know your audience, and I've listened to your podcast, and I know that I don't necessarily have to have a filter, but my God, some of the things that she's said in the past have made me go, what the fuck just came out of your mouth, Satan?
Did you ever listen to our episode, The Grenadier?
Yes. Yes. Jesus.
Oh. Pete, have you ever heard that episode? I think we lost Pete.
News, Pete.
Did you ever hear that episode, The Grenadier?
I did, of course.
That is the most evil thing a man has ever done to somebody that he likes. Mr. Nipples, you got to have the story.
Which one?
Wait, no, you've been with Mrs. Nipples for a long time. You probably don't have a story.
Yeah, I don't. Not at all.
Oh, proud of you, Mr. Nipples.
Mr. Nipples and Mrs. Nipples went to senior prom together.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah, we've been together since 2014. I want to say 14.
And when you just became old enough to drink, that's a long time.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel so old that I think I can remember Prohibition.
All y'all are fucking old.
Well, we're eventually going to have soldiers that are like, I remember when they outlawed cigarettes if you were under 21.
I remember that. I was there when the great nicotine cancellation happened.
Oh, God. That's just fun. Like, so
It was in the year of our Lord 1920.
You know how, like, when you're downrange, there's some things that you just fucking ignore even though you know you shouldn't? Like,
Probably.
you know, when the soldier got arrested because he fucking murdered the family and burned the fucking house down, and they asked him why. He's like, well, I raped the girl and I didn't want her to talk. I'm like, I understand this fucked up logic. I mean, I get it, but Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't think I ever got to the dark side that badly.
I mean, I walked out of my hooch at Fob Falcon, or the T building at Falcon, and I saw this van of soldiers. They opened up the panel door in the van, and they pulled this chick out, and she's clearly passed the fuck out. So there's all these things racing through my fucking head, things that I should do as a second lieutenant. I should say something. Then I was like, not my circus, not my monkeys. Fuck it. And I went back to my fucking room. Now, I got the story from the soldiers. Like, they went out, they were drinking at the contractor side of the base. She was with them in their platoon. She was a platoon mate. She got drunk, and they wanted to sneak her back in the fucking barracks. I was like, hey, cool, legit. I don't really give a shit. Well, we saw you, sir, and we wanted you to know that everything was on the up and up. And I'm like, or you guys are about to fucking smoke my ass and bury me in the shit pond.
Did you ever hear about a case of swine flu breaking out in the Middle East?
I know what you're referring to.
Well, we've had him on the show, and it was all an entire ruse just to see how far he can get the story to go.
Yeah, he's famous.
Just so you know, his books are awesome.
Yes, they are. You can absolutely find them on Amazon, too, at Divided by Zero.
Yep.
Writing that down.
He'll give you one free book if you contact him and tell him Daycare. He'll give you a code for one free book.
Okay.
You gotta buy the rest. But his writing is absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah, Darwin is good for kind of assembling writers from like the veteran community and a little bit extended beyond that. Just very interesting, weird little writers.
And if you like the G.I. Lowe books, Lowe shows up in his books.
Well, he published my first 2 books.
Yeah, Lowe's in the books. Oh, did you hear that Derwin's talking about getting a Nipples and Fuku to be skinned alive?
What?
Okay.
I did hear about that.
In one of his books, one of the series that he writes, there's these aliens, and G.I. Joe's involved with getting these people to go to a different dimension and, this stuff. And one of the punishments that these aliens use is they glove you, like completely glove you on international television, okay? It's one of the ways that they control the mass population. Well, last time he was on the show, he said that he's going to try and work it in where we get gloved. I thought that was a pretty big honor. So.
There have been people in the stories that I've written. Oh, and by the way, I'm hopefully going to be done with my first book by Christmas. But there's stories that I've written where I absolutely, like my ex-wife that had the affair, I absolutely fucking murder, death, killed her. Like she got fucking kidnapped by fucking jihadis and fucking tortured and murdered on international fucking TV. And I spelled her name like 2 letters off. But like the first name, middle name, last name, same fucking cunt. Same fucking cunt.
Yeah.
And when I was in junior high, my 16th birthday, my sister was born 4 days before me, and they forgot my birthday. And on my birthday, my stepdad fucking basically kicks open my door and says, "Take out the fucking trash." And I was like, "I took out the trash." He's like, "Well, oh, you did?" So he drags me out of bed, takes me back downstairs, and he's like, "What's it doing here?" I was like, "I guess somebody brought it the fuck back in." And so I wrote a story called Terrible Twos and Sweet 16. And there was this newspaper in St. Louis called the St. Louis Globe-Democrat. It's been gone for like 20 years. But in the story, I changed where we lived, everybody else's name except for my stepdad. First name, middle name, last name, the second. And that shit made it into the paper. And I was just like, don't fuck with the writer. They'll fucking kill you forever.
Well, if you need a publisher for your book, hit up Derwin. Talk to him.
Okay.
He is absolutely amazing, and the people that he works with to get his audiobooks done are fucking, and this guy's voice is just like, imagine a really good whiskey.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Think about the sound that a really good whiskey would make when it talks to you.
All right.
That's how smooth and perfect this guy's voice is.
So this whole fucking this COVID bullshit, the army has said everyone work from home. So
the army has not said everyone works at home.
Well, the reserve. I work on Fort Sam, and the entire reserve part of Fort Sam, the reserve center, and most of the schools, unless the students are already there, they're just shut the fuck down. Like, don't go to the building. And I'm like, it's the fucking flu, man. I mean, okay. So, like, the guy that I work for, awesome dude, but he's an E9 and I'm an O4. But Monday through Friday, he's the boss. But on weekends, he works for me, I'm like, you know what, dude? Let's just fucking get the shit. Whatever, man. Let's just figure it the fuck out. So I was like, you're going to have these people come up with a work plan? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, so you're not going to have any kind of quantifiable measurement of what they did the month that we've been off, or the month and a half, or however long it is. He's like, So I had a work plan. And I discovered this new heavy metal band called The Sword out of Austin, Texas. And that was a mistake, because I found them at like 10:30 on a Tuesday night. And then it took me to fucking The Sword, Tender Cavalry, The Who, Wolfheart, High Lung, Semblant. And I'm like, it's like 5 a.m. and I'm listening to heavy fucking metal. And I look down and like, I jammed through a month's worth of fucking work, drinking beer and listening to heavy metal. I'm like, well, now what the fuck am I going to do? I mean, I set an alarm for 8:50 for a 9 o'clock conference call. And I'm like, Curry's here. And then I go back to sleep. And I'm like, I have nothing to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start writing again. And over the weekend, I cranked out 90,000 words. And I was like, I have to sleep. Like, I was like going back and looking at the last couple pages that I typed. And I was like, utter fucking gibberish. I was like, I have no idea. That has nothing to do with the fucking story, man. Like, that's a shopping list. What the fuck are you thinking right now?
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. It's that shit can get you get going, and you lose track of time, and then your brain fries, and you don't realize it's fried. You keep going, and yeah.
I've never written that much ever. I mean, I kept that blog in Iraq, and it was like 400 something pages, but that was 11 months worth of writing. and I jammed through almost 100,000 words in 72 hours. I think I slept maybe 10 hours in 72 hours. Like, I would wake up and I'm like, get up and write. And the dog's like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, red alert, time to write. Dog, what's the Russian word for fucking?
Before we sign off, last time you were on, I told you about RWB down there in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Did you ever hook up with Gil?
So the contact, not physical contact. I mean, I signed up, got the shirt, and was gonna start doing events, and then this shit fucking kind of hit. So I mean, they do virtual events. So I'm doing a virtual, the virtual Hadrian's Wall. I'm doing that.
Okay.
But Texas opens back up on the 1st, I think. I've seen some emails from RWB, but yeah, man, once Texas is back up and running, the jig is up and gone.
Gil is very active in RWB. He's been on the show. He actually biked from coast to coast, literally from one ocean to the other.
Yeah, he told me.
Hook up with him, man. That guy will. He's older than any of us, and he'll kick your ass. So.
I need that. I mean, I set up the fucking home gym for COVID because the jiu-jitsu is all closed down. I set up the home gym and I did like probably a 50-minute workout, sweating fucking buckets because it was like 95 degrees outside. The dog is like, you're fucking crazy. Like, I shit you not. The dog closed the door to the garage with his face because it was letting the fucking cold air out of the living room. And I'm just like, I'm done. Fuck this. I think I've gained weight.
If you need another outlet, this goes for any of you. Reach out to DDP Yoga.
Who is
I
that?
don't do it because the kids. I don't get time to sit down and even think until this time of night. But DDP Yoga.
DDT?
Discussing stuff for service and veterans. Yeah, DDP Yoga. There's an Diamond Dallas page.
Okay.
And I've seen the transformation that our guys have had through this. So it's a good program.
Groovy. I wrote it down.
The website Dareby is amazing. I love it.
Okay.
So it's like weight-free workouts.
Those are my favorite because I hate weights.
Well, weights usually involve going to the gym. All the gyms are closed, plus even when the gyms are open. Like, I'm that insecure guy being like, everyone's judging me at the gym.
I'm small. I'm 5'4". I'm like, fuck it. You guys win. I'm out.
With my kids, I know this is going to sound weird, but I like putting on like either Just Dance on the Wii or pulling up the old Richard Simmons slip into the oldies. And my kids think it's so much fun, and I'm like, you know what? It keeps me going, so.
Fuck it. If it works, it's not stupid.
Exactly.
Murphy's Law.
Oh,
Private.
Murphy. Oh, shit. That's a whole other topic. Private Murphy. Fucking love Private Murphy.
Endorsement.
We had, well, that's a whole other show then. We're gonna get into that. That's a whole other show. But, yeah. Anything else, Mr. Nipples?
Nope, that's all I got.
Holy shit, you're sober enough to talk. Damn.
Yes.
Wow, okay. All right, with that, guys, I think we're going to have to sign off tonight. Yeah, swing over and check out Corn Titties if you want to. I'm not saying you have to.
Oh, I already did. You had me at titties.
He's like, I've been on mute. I've been on mute, beating my meat the whole time. What the fuck are you talking about?
You weren't on mute.
And you know what the best up part is? Mrs. Nipples is in the same room as him playing World of Warcraft.
Nerd.
Not judging.
Oh, no, my wife's a nerd. That's fair.
But yeah, it's fun. There's another page called Kink as Fuck.
Yeah, I'm talking shit, too. Woman. Fuck you. Eat my ass.
Did y'all see that meme? Did y'all see that meme I posted today?
Keep talking shit.
I'm gonna keep talking shit, woman.
It
Until-
says, you know, if you rub your nose on her clit with
What?
your tongue's in her
Yes, I saw that. I saw that.
Nerd.
Reboot.
Oh. Okay. We're gonna have to sign it off because I think this is our longest show ever.
It's
right.
definitely one of the longest, yeah.
All
All
right.
right, have a good night, everybody.
You too.
You have a good one.
Take care.
Bye later.
Later.